Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the updated version of the Arcteryx Granville 16-liter backpack. I looked at the original version of this not too long ago on the channel, and I was actually really impressed with the functionality and the size of that bag, so I was curious to see what the updates would be on this version. And in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to test this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, to me the look here has changed a little bit, but the style has mostly remained the same. Still got a very minimal, kind of sleek appearance, especially considering Arcteryx is more outdoor focused. So it's a versatile look because some of the pocketing layout has changed and the logo placement, it doesn't look exactly the same as the previous edition. Also, the overall silhouette feels maybe a little bit more round or shorter. There's something about it that's not quite the same, but in general, it's still a versatile look that's gonna work well whether you're going into the outdoors, traveling, or exploring a city. As far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. This uses Arcteryx's ripstop nylon that feels like it's going to offer a nice amount of durability while also keeping the weight of the bag pretty low. It comes in at under 2 pounds, and then it's going to offer an excellent amount of weather resistance. That's one of the coolest aspects of this bag in general, is just how well protected everything is going to be from the elements, both in the fabrics and then also with the very well protected YKK zippers. One thing to note on the construction that feels a little bit different from the previous edition is that I'm noticing more seams around the bag, and so I haven't noticed any issues with the water resistance. This all still seems very well protected, but it's just something that stands out to me, not just visually, but also just a little bit different in the overall construction of the bag, so something to keep in mind. Continuing along the outside, no external water bottle pockets. On the bottom of the bag, you have a nice loop that's going to be a good spot to attach something like a bike light. The placement of the Arcteryx logo has also changed. The previous edition had the logo on the center of the front, kind of near the top. Now it's down at the bottom, so a little more subtle and out of the way if you don't like your branding to be as obvious. Because of the interesting shape and style of Arcteryx's logo, I didn't mind it too much on the front, but you know, it still works well here. It's out of the way, and then you have a handle at the top. Nothing too fancy here, just a pretty standard strap that does offer a nice amount of space so you can pick it up. It's also going to work well for hanging the bag up when it's not in use. Moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 16 liters, but it's a deceptively large 16 liters due to the simpler layout of the bag. I feel like I was easily able to hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me, and I like that when the bag is packed out, it still maintained a pretty slim and compact silhouette, which made it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto any domestic or international airline. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. This is probably one of the biggest improvements over the previous edition. The straps offer a nice amount of padding and some air mesh on the inside that's going to provide some breathability and help prevent moisture from building up. The width on the straps is pretty narrow. This is a lighter and smaller bag, but it can hold an impressive amount. So if you have a lot of heavy stuff and you're holding it for a longer period of time, you might start to notice a little bit of fatigue, but the edges here are nicely padded. So far it's been a pretty good balance. And then you also have an adjustable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. As far as the back paneling, this is definitely very different from the previous edition, which was pretty much just a flat back, same material as the rest of the bag, so not a ton of cushioning or airflow. Here you have a nice amount of padding, especially down near the bottom. You can see that there's a little bit of support here in the lumbar area, and then you have this ventilated material here that is going to provide just more airflow, breathability. It's going to prevent your back from getting quite as sweaty as you're wearing this for a longer period of time. The air channels aren't super deep, but so far it still felt like an improvement. I've heard a couple of comments on how abrasive this mesh is, and you know, I've only been using this for a couple of weeks, so I'll have to keep an eye on that over a longer period of time. So far it doesn't feel like it's going to be too terrible. Maybe with something like merino wool that's a little bit more delicate, I would be, you know, keeping an eye on that. But so far, I still prefer to have this material over what was on the previous edition. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag keeps things pretty simple At the top, you have a quick access pocket, very similar to what was on the previous edition. So this is gonna offer a nice amount of space for the items that you're grabbing most regularly during the day. I like that this offers plenty of volume, even for some bulkier items. And so at the moment, what I have in here is a cable to charge my phone. I have my AirPods. I also have my sunglasses case with a bulkier case that was able to fit in there very comfortably. And then on the inside, you also have a little lanyard with a clip that's gonna be a great spot for your keys or a multi-tool. Beyond that top quick access pocket, there's no other external organization, and that is probably my biggest issue with this bag, is that the previous edition had a zippered compartment along the side that was another great quick access area. It allowed you to swing the bag around, reach in and grab something, and it just provided some additional kind of separation for the items that you didn't want in the main area, that didn't fit into the top quick access compartment. It was just a nice additional piece that, you know, I used quite a bit. I've heard from others that have tried out this new edition that they missed the addition of that zippered pocket, and so that's going to be one of the biggest things where if you have the previous edition, you'll really want to keep an eye on that pocket and how much you're using it before deciding to upgrade. And then taking a look at the main compartment, this is still a top loading bag, but the zippers go down enough so that you can open this up nice and wide. On the inside, you have the white lining, so plenty of visibility here. And then again, at 16 liters of space, even with the items that I have here, I still had some extra capacity, so I'm always impressed with how much these bags can hold. And jumping in, at the moment I have my Beats Studio wireless headphones, I have my Alpaca admin pouch, I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch 1 liter, I have my Air Pro Tech kit, and then I also have a packable rain jacket. So just tossed in an assortment of the things that I typically carry. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. You can see that it comes up a decent amount. So if I really wanted to use this as a minimal travel bag, I could toss in my larger compressible packing cube, a dop kit, maybe an extra pair of shoes, and use this for a weekend trip. And then as far as organization, it's still pretty simple here on the inside. With the previous edition, I believe you did have access to that front compartment that's no longer present. So again, losing a little bit of functionality there, which is unfortunate. Here on the back, you can see kind of the taped seams that help prevent any water from sneaking in, even if you have these seams on the front. So, really durable, weather resistant construction. On the back, you have a zippered kind of elastic mesh compartment, a nice mesh here. It's gonna be great for smaller items that you don't want floating to the bottom of the bag. So at the moment I have my mouse there, as well as the charger for my laptop. And then speaking of the laptop, you have a pretty well padded laptop sleeve here. On the side, it's described as kind of an elastic slip pocket, but I like that this has some padding. It's a little bit more rigid. It's not just a slip pocket. This is gonna be able to hold probably a 15-inch laptop, maybe a 16-inch, might start to get a little tight, especially with the lip here. I currently have a 13-inch MacBook Air that's able to fit in there comfortably. And I like that this sleeve is properly suspended off the bottom of the ground. It's really pulled up quite a good amount. You can see that the sleeve ends here, and then there is a significant amount of space between the bottom. So your laptop is gonna be very well protected from drops, which is always nice. And then pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. It comes up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in there comfortably. And again, with the amount of padding that's provided here, the fact that it's suspended off the bottom of the ground, pulled away from the sides, it feels like your device should be well protected while you're running around throughout the day. And then behind the laptop sleeve, you have one additional slip pocket that doesn't go all the way down. It goes to about the bottom of the zippered area here, so it'd probably be a good spot for something like a tablet. I didn't actually place my tablet in there because it started to feel a little bit tight, but you could fit an iPad mini, maybe a larger tablet would be able to fit in there, but with the laptop in at the same time, it's just something that I wouldn't want to create too much pressure. It might be difficult to get one device out, so not really sure how much I would use it, but it is there in case you want to take advantage of it. And then you have a zipper along the back that allows you to access the frame sheet if you need to. So, pretty simple layout, much like the previous edition. It still does a lot of the same things well. I'm, pretty sad that they removed that additional zippered pocket on the front. I did also kind of like the overall silhouette and shape of the previous edition, but, if you didn't have a chance to use that one and you're just looking for a highly weather resistant lightweight backpack that's going to offer a good place for your laptop and an updated harness system, then it still may be worth checking out. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty good experience testing out the updated edition of the Arcteryx Granville 16-liter backpack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company's site or on sites like Amazon for around $200, which is definitely premium pricing. You are getting a very well-built bag with a great amount of weather resistance and a pretty good feature set, but there's going to be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the GoRuck Bullet Ruck. We've looked at a couple of different editions of that bag on the channel. Recently, I've really enjoyed using their ripstop nylon bullet rucks, which offer a nice amount of weather resistance, and the fabric just is a little bit lighter weight. I like how flexible it is while maintaining a lot of what makes the bullet ruck such a versatile, more compact daily bag. So it's got the clamshell style opening, so you can pack it out very easily. Nice organizational layout, and it also has the dedicated laptop compartment that's gonna have a nice amount of padding and a false bottom. And so just a really versatile, more compact option. It's gonna come in at a pretty similar price point. So if you want something in this size range that's gonna offer just a little bit more in the way of organization and that dedicated laptop compartment, that's gonna be a fantastic option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Air City Pack, which comes in at around 14 liters, so kind of similar in size to this. It's got a little bit more in the way of organization. You've got a lot of quick access pockets and small slots for all of your tech and smaller essentials. It's got a well padded and suspended laptop compartment, really comfortable and breathable harness system. I like that it has a side handle. So it just kind of checks off a lot of the boxes for what I'm looking for out of a minimal tech bag. Definitely much more of a techie appearance compared to this in my opinion. But just a really solid option. Again, pretty similar price point to this. And if you're looking for something that's gonna give you more flexibility with a modern aesthetic, and that's gonna be an awesome option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Evergood CHZ22, which is a really great, simple EDC bag that's meant to be a good crossover pack, something that can work well in the outdoors. I'm always a fan of Evergood's minimal and subdued aesthetic. They have a great build quality. The new ballistic nylon that they've been using on their bags is rugged, weather resistance. The harness systems offer a nice amount of breathability and comfort. They also have a really good hydration bladder pass-through. They have a laptop sleeve that's suspended, and then a really simple organizational layout. So pretty similar to this. It doesn't go overboard as far as the pocketing, but the ones that it offers are pretty useful. And then of course you have the two excellent external water bottle pockets, which is one of the biggest selling points for the CHZ. So if you're looking for a bag that's got this type of a vibe, but that's gonna give you the water bottle pockets, that's gonna be an excellent option to take a look at. With that being said, although I feel like the price point is a little bit high and I do wish that Arcteryx had kept the same layout of the previous version of the Granville, it still seems like this holds up pretty well against some of the other options that I mentioned, especially if you're looking for a bag that is highly weather resistant. This one is gonna be tough to beat in that aspect. It's still gonna offer good laptop protection, an updated harness, and if you're looking for a bag that's gonna be able to hold an impressive amount in a smaller form factor, then this is gonna be a great option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the updates that Arcteryx has made to the Granville backpack and how it compares to some of the other outdoor and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank you for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.